if Jesus was here today, he may well have said, give us today, because that's what it means. And today sounds more practical, at least to me. It sounds real. What do I need today? What do we need today? And beyond bread, what do we need in terms of our mental health, our emotional health, our psychological health, our spiritual health, our kids, our parents' health, whatever it is, physical health? And taking time in the midst of the prayer, Jesus invited us to ask him for what we need. Hello and welcome to this edition of the Living the Lord's Prayer discussion. I'm with the author, the co-author, Chuck Scott. He has had an 8.5-year journey focused on the Lord's Prayer. He's been my friend since the 80s. He played for the Rams. Now, you know a guy is really cool when he has his own coffee cup label, the Ram, on his coffee cup there. I don't know if we've got the camera angle to see the coffee cup. Do we have Zoom capabilities in here? Not Zoom like Zoom. Well, you know what I mean. Anyway,
do we have?
You have your own personalized
focused
cup
capabilities here.
Let's stay focused. Hey, we're talking about living in the Lord's Prayer. Our focus is to say thank you for your support and for posting reviews on Amazon, for sharing this, and for considering doing it as a holiday gift for your employees, your friends, your small group, whatever. We're having fun celebrating the many texts and emails and calls and pictures and videos that we've been sent from others. People are reading Living the Lord's Prayer in small groups, in large groups, at conferences. We spoke last episode about a development conference with Young Life people that you were at. And I just got back. It was a Village Christian School. Tom Conjoyan, a leader, just an outstanding leader there. And he does a great thing. When kids graduate, the dads who've been involved, like on the foundation or on the board or booster club, whatever, they can stay involved by being in the dad's Bible study after they leave. So we had a couple dozen guys in office and via Zoom, and they're reading through the Lord's book weekly, and that's going on other places. So if you've read the book, hopefully these podcasts will just remind you of it a little bit and prompt you in this great prayer, the Lord's Prayer, the one that he taught early in his ministry, but it gives clues to truths that he would eventually teach that become tools for us to use in life. One of the insights from the book, and a great word from Chuck, if you get texts from Chuck, or if you're part of our, we do daily text Bible studies, and by the way, for next year, if you want to follow along with us, let us know. We read the New Testament chapter at a time. Did you know that the number of chapters in the New Testament equals the number of weekdays in a calendar year? So we do one a weekday when we get through it. Although next year's leap year, so we're going to have to, figure something out on that. I think next year's leap year. I've heard that it was.
No idea.
It's an even numbered year. I at least know that. One of the things but when Chuck sends these texts, and if you talk to him ever, when he says today, he says it in all caps, today. And it comes from the prayer where it says, give us this day our daily bread. And that sounds like that's the right prayer. Give us this day. It sounds very elegant, very elevated. But if Jesus was here today, he may well have said, give us today, because that's what it means. And today sounds more practical, at least to me. It sounds real. What do I need today? What do we need today? And beyond bread, what do we need in terms of our mental health, our emotional health, our psychological health, our spiritual health, our kids, our parents' health, whatever it is, physical health. And taking time in the midst of the prayer, Jesus invited us to ask him for what we need. And Chuck, I don't know what you think about this. When I was younger, I thought, why would we ask God for what we need? He knows what we need. So why do we ask God for what we need today? I'll give you that.
Thanks for the heads up that was coming. That part of the prayer, I think one of the biggest takeaways I'm getting from the texts and the emails and the encounters with people, the hour in us prayer into the me and my world. Jesus gave us an hour in us prayer into our me and my world. And my prayer life really going into this adventure of living in the Lord's Prayer was probably a lot more of bless me, bless me, bless me, give me, give me, give me. I mean, if I really look back, and I would pray when something, the Young Life Banquet was coming up, a big game, a test, whatever it might be. It was more because I needed something. And when Jesus says, give us, he wants us to have eyes to the people around us, to, beyond ourselves, and the prayers for others. And then this day, our daily bread, give us today. Jesus lives out throughout his life that it's interesting. You think of, I just want to do good enough so I can get into heaven when I die. I mean, that was kind of the early understanding of Christianity for me. You got to get in, you want to get into heaven, so receive Christ. Once saved, always saved. So at least you're in, even though you screw up, you can get in. And this prayer has taken it from, it's not the end goal to try to get into heaven when I die and to be good enough, because I can't be. That would be in big trouble if that. But Jesus came, and again, in his upside down kingdom way of presenting things. Don't try to get into heaven when you die. Try to get heaven into you today. And when you start living for the kingdom of God and the will of God, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth, right here in this podcast, and the retreats, all these things that I'm getting a chance to go tell people about the book. It's just not mine, but thine, and not me, but thee. Today, right now, in this spot where we are, the kingdom of God, the will of God, in the now but not yet. And it's an amazing way to live. It's powerful. It's transformative, but it makes everything present, and it makes God present over, just. And so the intimacy I feel like I have with my Abba, who Jesus introduced us to at the beginning of the prayer, our Father, good Father, is all day, every day, right now, right where I'm at. And I get the privilege of being a conduit of ushering in the kingdom of God and the will of God through this broken, messed up, beat up, body. God can flow. And when he does, when he flows out into those around me, wherever I'm at, if I'm speaking with 400 people at the camp last weekend or one person on the airplane, it's this opportunity to just open your hands and say, not me, but thee, and allow that to take place. So give us this day our daily bread is it's right now. It's on. We start living in it.
So if we pause just for a second, those of you who are watching or listening, whether in your car, online, or wherever, it's a good question. I'll ask you, what do you need today? What do you want? What do you want right now? Or what do you want for your family? And I think part of why the Lord taught us to pray this way is sometimes we're not self-aware of what we need or what we want. If you're watching this, you're the kind of person who makes time to pursue learning, to pursue perspectives, to prompt yourself to become a better version of yourself, to gather information, to hear what others are saying to each other, or what they might be saying to you, or what the Lord might be saying to you. So you're a go-getter. I just finished a few days with just a wonderful social service agency. They're working out some leadership stuff among people that are rescuing trafficked women in border towns in the United States, mostly Southern California and Texas. But oftentimes those who give and who care for others, whether they're caregivers, first responders, social workers, counselors, the tendency for a lot, pastors, educators, oftentimes the tendency can be to think of ourselves last. And by the time we think of ourselves, we realize how much we're hurting, and we've been hurting for a while, for something, whatever it may be. So it's good that even as the Lord taught us to pray for what we want or pray for what we need, it's helpful as a way to make us more self-aware of what we ourselves want and need, to ask the Lord for it. Give us this day our daily bread, whether it's our physical bread, mental bread, emotional bread. And then when he provides it, we're in touch with the fact that we asked and he provided. And it's way more natural to give him the credit and the glory for it. So today, every time I see your today stamp, I appreciate it. It's just a good reminder, all caps, that it's not just, well, today. It's like, really, today, exclamation point. There's some urgency. I know many of you watching this probably want to be the kind of people where your faith isn't just a Sunday only thing. It's a today, every day. So that helps us to work on it.
When I sign a book, I'm signing autographs again.
Really? So you sign books?
So that they have great value.
Do you do
eBay.
Scheduled book signings? I don't think you do you?
Yeah, I'm on a tour around the world.
Will you share with the audience how much of an untour guy you are?
Yeah, believe me.
Hey, Ray, when we started this.
I don't want to be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
So,
does anybody notice how Chuck looks semi-uncomfortable here if you're watching? He's just he's not throwing, he's not running, he's not golfing, he's not complaining about a missed putt.
When I signed a book.
Okay, yeah, you were talking, yes.
I always write today, but my today is my T is the cross. So I kind of do it, up and down about 3 times, make it a little thicker than the rest of whatever I'm writing, to the person. But so the today stamp on a text is all caps with 2 exclamation points.
Right.
But when I but the original today, when I would journal, back all through this whole journey, has always been a cross is the T. And again, it's just a reminder to me that what Jesus did for me on the cross is available right now. Today, it's on. And I will say that one of the things I point to in our daily bread, we talked about it being beyond just our physical need, which I share with my friends in Haiti. A lot of them, that is exactly what it might be, with just food to eat. But you mentioned in the book my back surgery and my years of really declining fast and almost to a wheelchair, of just not, with just bone on bone in my spine. And we mentioned my doctor healing me. I've had now 5 people who I've referred to that particular doctor, which has been really kind of fun. And,
do you get commissions on those?
Huh?
Do you get commissions on those?
I should. I need to start getting commissions on those. So, but it's been fun, and they've all experienced so far it's been good. If he messes one of them up, I'm going to have to, but it has been interesting. Somebody will read that part of the book and call and go, hey, my wife, or I've been in back pain forever. What's your doctor's name? And so that's been another little side deal.
Yeah. What Chuck's talking about here, he had significant back injuries from his days in the pros. Long after his time in the pros, his doctor from his time in the pros was still caring about him, still following up with him, and connected him to a place where, he was in pain for some years. And believe me, I love Chuck, but boy, can he whine. He can whine with the best of them, and he was in pain. But it's interesting what Chuck just said. He has gladly told others, catch this, friends, he's gladly told others about the doctor who healed him, who helped him. And I know that many of us watching or listening to this have a desire to share our faith. Here's what the Lord has done for me. Boy, I'd love you to know him. Or here's what the Lord has done for me in my growing deeper in the journey with Christ. I'd love you to come along with me, or join our small group, or come to our church, or, can we just make talking about faith part of our friendship? And what is it, Chuck, that there's just something for a lot of us? I think largely it's respect for others, or honoring others' boundaries, or maybe just what seems socially acceptable. But, we can recommend doctors to others. We recommend movies. You should see this movie, or you should try this restaurant. But a lot of people have pause when it comes to sharing our faith. Not because we're necessarily not confident in the Lord, but maybe we're either not confident in us, or we don't want to offend somebody, or we don't want to shove anything. And so it's been great to hear the people that have felt like giving the book as a gift is like an unoffensive way to plant a seed. And for all the people that have an issue with religion, or organized religion, or televangelists, or different denominations, or what churches do, or just negative impressions that people have, or impediments to considering the Christian faith, who could be mad at the Lord's Prayer? You know, the Lord's Prayer hasn't hurt anybody ever. It's not associated with one denomination or one tradition. And, you know, as your friend Dwight Clark said, you know, he prayed it in church and before football games his whole life. But until he read your book, he hadn't really dug in to what it really says. So, yeah, we're definitely hoping that if this prompts a conversation with a friend or giving it as a gift is a respectful way to share your faith with your employees, your colleagues, your friends, your family. I know that there's some in my family that wouldn't necessarily call themselves huge people of faith, Chuck, but they read the book and we're glad to receive it. And we're maybe the slightest bit proud of us for doing it. So a couple things from today's podcast. Today, what do we need today? We ask the Lord for it. And the book is a tool maybe to pass it on. We're saying thank you for those who've written reviews. And we're acknowledging that Chuck has a lot of very unique skills, and whining is one of them. But truly, his depth of understanding of the Lord's Prayer has been a gift, and we'll talk more about that next time. Thanks for joining us.